그래서 웨어리스 군번줄 코너. 내가 너의 군번줄 되리라. 얘들 시체를 찾아야 될 것 같은데. 잠깐 돌아갔다가 비비.
Sorry, I gotta take this.
시에라. 에히. 여기 다 와가지고 더 밑으로 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 밑으로. 필살 공격. 여기 계셨군요. 한 분.
Younger than me.
키디. 이제 한 명. 아마 내년이나 빠르면 이제 내년쯤에 나올 거예요. 늦어도 계속 만들고 있다고 하니까. 대포마의 루머 같은 경우는 이제 워낙에 이제 그것도 높고 접근율도 높은 편이라서. 웨어리스 롱코너. 나가는 길인데. 몇 층에 뭐 있었나? 여기구나. 아이고.
You were one tough son of a gun, weren't you?
자, 군번 줄을 시라에게 돌려주자. 는 겸사겸사 근처에 무송인 6가 있다는 거.
Any news on Mike?
Nothing. No clues either.
You know where he disappeared? Maybe I could take a look.
As a matter of fact, I do.
관전염이 올 때까지 살아있으려나요? 얘 하는 걸 보면.
Let me mark the area on your map.
I'll let you know if I find anything.
Did you hear the news? About that rich lady? Well, you gotta remember her. There's not a lot of rich anyones left in this part of the city.
No. What happened?
Hanged herself. Turns out she was being blackmailed.
그렇지. 근데 이거 내가 안.
Well, killed her whole family a few years ago. At the time, she said infected had swarmed them. Turns out it was a setup, a power grab.
Her family?
Husband, kids, even her own sister.
Fuck.
Apparently, the younger brother of one of her accomplices was blackmailing her. I'm not sure what went wrong, but he made her story public. But just before he did, she tied a noose around her neck and kicked away a kitchen chair.
Fuck.
내가 거절했던 건데. 거절했던 퀘스트인데. 자, 아무튼 마이크가 이 운송인 퀘스트도 이제 슬슬 마무리 단계인 것 같긴 한데. 저 마이크 미안한데 한숨 자고 가면 안 될까요? 밤에 돌아다니는 거 솔직히 좀 조금 그래요. 재워줘! 네, 여기 VVIP잖아. VVIP는 아닌가? 아무튼 이제 어쨌든 나름 이제 이곳에 해준 게 많은 남잔데, 사람인데. 또 어디 있어? 아, 또 그쪽이냐? 말고. 여기 1km. 여기 이쪽이면 이거는 우효. 알겠습니다. 여기서 시간 보내고 저거 먼저 하러 가자. 운송인 퀘스트도 이제 거의 이게 아마 마이크 그 찾는 거 보니까 마지막인 것 같은데 보니까. 네, 안녕하세요. 뿌뿌뿌뿌. 아니 나 근데 하루에 나도 한 다 4-5시간 아니 요즘에 방송 시간이 좀 줄었다지만 이제 무조건 웬만하면 4시간 5시간씩은 게임을 하는데 아무리 그래도 그리고 이제 제가 이제 저스트 채팅 안 하니까 게임 방송 키면은 거의 이제 바로 게임 시작해서 그래도 웬만하면 적을 때는 4시간 반, 좀 많을 땐 5시간 반, 이제 주말 같은 경우는 6시간 정도까지는 하는데 대체 나보다 엔딩을 빨리 보는 사람들은 물론 제가 이제 그거 하긴 하는데 이제 이것저것 근데 다른 분들도 이것저것 다 하시는데 나보다 훨씬 빠르게 엔딩 보시더라고. 내가 그렇게 느린가? 게임하는 스타일이. 이것저것 많이 훑고 지나가는 편이긴 하다마는. 아니 말고 서브 퀘스트까지 다 하시는 분들도 꽤 계시더라고요. 근데도 나보다 빨라. 시간이 많으신 건지 아니면 진짜 게임을 엄청나게 시간을 갈아 넣을 정도로 게임을 좋아하시는 건지. 그래요. 이게 또 방송으로 하는 거랑 이제 하루 종일 이제 그냥 게임만 하는 거랑 또 이제 틀리니까 느낌이.
Stab wounds? Infected didn't do that. Looks like you were ambushed and left for dead, Mike. Worse, left in the dark so you'd turn. Just killing you wasn't enough for these bastards.
일로 하는 게 아니니까. 솔직히 이제 그냥저냥 한두 시간 쉬었다가 또 게임하고 한두 시간 쉬었다가 게임하고 뭐 그런 거니까 생각해보면. 뭐야 왜 또 이것도 여기에 또 사이드 뭔가 이제 느낌표가 나오길래 불안했는데 또 여기 뭐가 있어. 그래서 좀 많이 틀리긴 하지. 말하면서 하는 거랑 또 틀리긴 해.
What's going on?
Nothing, unfortunately.
그러니까 대사 그냥 대충 빨리빨리 그냥 속도로 읽고 넘길 수도 있고 사실 그렇지. 방송 가면 이제 다 봐야 되는데.
This was my chance to bring her back to life.
그걸 생각을 못했네.
What, come again?
My wife, Megan. With the electricity, she will live again.
So, you mean to bring your wife back from the dead?
She'll be with me again. She'll bring the groceries. We'll cook together and talk long into the night.
But how if she's, well,
Oh, how we'll laugh. And watch movies till sunrise.
Okay, I give up. Where are the fuses?
Downstairs. There are loads of infected. I tried to get it myself, but
I gotcha. I'll do what I can.
give you everything precious that I have left. My Megan
Megan.
is all that matters to me. I'll be waiting in our apartment. It's just below us.
아유. 살아있다. 잠깐 뭐야? 갑자기? 우리가 아는 그 유아인 씨 주연의 영화 그 살아있다 아니는 아니겠지. 그거에서 그거 패러디인가? 갑자기 이제 생존자 여자가 이제 미국 특수부대처럼 그거 하는 바로 그것인가?
Hello? I fixed the fuses. Try it now.
Wait a second. She's alive. My Megan is alive. Come, save yourself.
뭘 살아?
All right.
전설에 이제 진라면 먹는 장면이 이제 PPL이 아니었다는, 누구나 다 PPL이라고 생각했지만 PPL이 아니었다는 그 전설에.
It's so nice to hear your voice
난
again.
저
Megan.
옆에서 이러고 있는 좀비가 이제 마누라인가 했는데.
You don't mind, do you?
Sure, they can be plain.
Why don't we watch something tonight? I'll be home soon. Bye.
Is that your wife?
Yes,
자동응답기.
my Megan. My beloved Megan. We're watching a movie together tonight. Can you recommend anything?
저스티스
I
리그
think we
극장판
should let
어때?
Megan choose.
아니면 그린 랜턴이라든가.
Thanks for the help. Me and Megan, we're so very
아마
grateful.
이제 아내분이 이제 무덤을 그걸 틀어주는 순간 빡쳐서 무덤을 박차고 일어나실 거야.
Please take it.
아니면 강철의 양꼬치와 찡따우 어때? 가져간다.
Thank you. I'm glad you're together again.
근데 좀 안타깝다. 자, 일단 다시 돌아갑시다. 빠른 이동을 현재 사용할 수 없다니. 빨리 다시 사용할 수 있게 되란 말이야. 애들링이요? 하고 싶은데 모르겠어요 어떻게 될지. 근데 제가 안 해도 워낙에 이제 클림이라든가 잘하시는 분들 많은 게임이니까 이제 뭐 제가 하는 걸 보고 싶어 하시는 분들도 있겠지만 웬만하면 하지 않을까요? 그래도 제가 소울류를 막 열심히 한다거나 그런 건 또 아니니까. 네. 그냥 이제 뭐 하면 나쁘진 않은데 막 재밌다 이런 느낌 한 번도 받은 적이 없었어. 다크 소울류는
Took them off an infected in a carrier's uniform.
뭐 제 기준에서 그래요.
Fuck, Mike.
사람들이 왜 갓게임이라고 하는지도 잘 모르겠고. 그러니까 왜 인기가 많은지는 알겠는데 전 그렇게 막
It's
엄청
worse than
재밌진
that.
않아요.
The infected didn't kill him. He was stabbed and left to turn intentionally.
So he was
그러니까 제가
attacked.
로그라이크 싫어하는 것도 그런
Well, that
취향이
happens.
때문이니까.
As respected as we are, we're targeted for robbery because of the information we carry.
그냥 이제
People
신작이니까
are
하는
always
정도지.
trying to disrupt the
하게 되면.
network.
It wasn't a robbery. Since his deliveries were still on him, he must have been targeted.
Mike didn't have any enemies.
Well, based on all the disappearances lately, it's probably not Mike who has enemies.
You mean someone's targeting the guild itself? No one would have the nerve.
But what if they did? What then?
If the guild were brought down, so would the network. There'd be chaos.
Then we'd all better watch each other's backs.
오염된 블레인. 아,
Hey, Professor, got any new deliveries for me?
야 설마 이렇게 말할 줄이야.
Here they are.
몇 가지
What
있냐
about
이거.
Any history lessons?
Maybe another time. The way things are going round here, I need to focus on the here and now.
아, 갑자기 내가
I
쿠팡맨이
totally get
돼버려.
that. Okay, later.
심지어 뭐로. 공격받기 딱 좋은 위치인데 가다가 여기저기.
Inhibitor container detected.
계십니까?
Package for you.
Thank you. Holy. I can't believe he got it.
What's that?
My fiance's ring. It was lost.
Lost.
I lost her. She was wearing it when the power went out. By the time it was back on, she turned and fled into the night.
That's terrible.
It was on her shambling corpse. Knowing that thing was wearing it, the ring I gave her, tore me up. It was an obscenity. But I couldn't do anything about it. I couldn't face her. Not like that.
So, who got a hold of the ring?
Dinesh, he promised he'd track her down and get it for me. He came through. Dinesh would have been my best man. He's my best friend.
That sounds like it. Hopefully you can start to put this past...
PTSD.
No, 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 no.
What?
There's a note in here. It's from Dinesh's sister. She says, Dinesh was out too long. He was already turning when he came back. They had to kill him, but they found the ring clutched in his hand.
I don't know what to say. Package for
아
you.
그래요? 근데 뭐 그닥 이 편도 하다 말아가지고 저.
That's not a stork, honey. That's the carrier.
Nonsense. I know a stork when I see one. And it's brought our beautiful baby. Our gorgeous son.
Huh?
That's right, honey. He's beautiful. Look, he's yawning. I bet he's tired from his journey. You should put him to bed.
Oh, but I want to rock him and hug him and squeeze him. And oh, look, Ferris, look at those little apple cheeks. I could just eat him up. That's right, Mummy could just eat up her little boy. Num, 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 num.
Sweetheart?
Oh. But you're right. I'll put him to bed.
Still there, buddy?
Just tell me I didn't just deliver a baby.
No. Don't worry, it's just a doll.
아, 그냥 인형.
Ferris, his eyes. He has your eyes.
I told you he would, honey.
What's going on?
Look, buddy, my wife recently lost our real son in childbirth. She hasn't been the same since.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you. But for her, it hasn't quite sunk in yet, so someone recommended getting a doll for her to care for. It seems crazy, but we hope it might help her heal.
Your son just pooped, Ferris. He even has the cutest poops.
How sweet. Look, we just need some privacy, so please keep this under your hat. Here's a little extra.
I can't take this. Anyway, it'd be a violation of my carrier's oath if I said anything.
I know, but look, she needs a doll to feel better, and I need this, so just take it.
Understood. Thank you.
So
뭐야?
you're Driscoll's new golden boy.
데릭?
And you are?
Someone who's had his eye on you.
I get that a lot.
Smart ass. You're not much to look at.
Now, let me guess. You're Derek.
In the flesh, loser. Carriers used to be heroes. That insignia used to mean something.
Sounds to me like your behavior wasn't all that heroic when you were a carrier.
Fine, I made some mistakes, but I believed in what we did. Not like you, fucking pilgrim. I know what you're after. You're just trying to get some information and then bail.
Maybe that's how it started, but that's not how it is now.
Bullshit. I'm gonna show them what being a real carrier is all about. Teach everyone a lesson. And you're cocky. You'll slip up. And I'll be there when you do, pilgrim.
이제랑도 또 이제 재수없게도 엮이겠구만 딱 봐도. 썩 내키지가 않네. 그래도 이제 PK 애들이 그나마 잭맷은 좀 별로긴 한데 그나마 이성군자들이야.
You're back. What the hell happened? Infected?
No, met Derek. Cheerful fellow. Not resentful at all.
So you talked. Do you think he's behind Mike's death and the other disappearances?
It could be. Seems to have it out for the entire outfit, even though he claims to revere it.
And he knows enough to understand what would happen if the guild were destroyed.
That makes him very dangerous.
So where is he?
I don't know. I didn't follow him after. Came straight back here.
There's more reasons to be careful then.
I'm waiting around for something bad to happen. You have any deliveries for me?
I do. But remember, you have more than Derek to worry about out there.
Don't worry, Professor. Postmen have been delivering in
아니
adverse
끝나진
conditions
않을
for
줄
thousands of
알았는데
years.
좀 잠깐 또 이제 한동안 이제 연락 없다가 막 무전으로 이제 오라고 할 줄
Well,
알았는데.
aye, but the roads better not be bustling with the infected. Especially the types we're seeing now. Reports of new and frankly terrifying new creatures.
Yeah,
이게
I've seen
생양아치들
plenty.
진짜.
God help us.
I wouldn't hold your breath for that.
끔찍하구만. 예, 점점 멀어지고 있네. 하필 또 이 위치야 또? 여기 사이드 퀘스트가 있는 갑자기 급격하게 배고파진다. 9시네 벌써. 정말 우편 배달부 진짜. 아니 보상이라도 진짜 기깔나게 주면 그냥 그래 뭐 그러려니 하지 하고 하는데 씨. 솔직히 보상도 그냥 저냥 하면서 이제 이러니까 더 꼴 받잖아. 보라 보에서 그래 이 순간에도 이제
Thank you.
그래 뭐 아무튼 대사가 뭐 있는데 아무튼 그래서 새 정착지를 표시해드렸습니다 이거잖아. 지금 이 순간에도 고통받고 있습니다 뭐 이러면서 막.
Thank you for the letter. It's from my love, Keld. He lives on the other side of the city. We belong together, but my parents forbid it.
Yeah. Seems like a local fashion these days. But I'm not sure what I can do for you.
For one, you can just listen. I have no one else to talk to.
Okay.
And you can have this letter delivered. If he could afford to leave his family, we would be together. But he can't. So I'll go to him. The letter says where he should meet me.
Okay. I'll take this back to the guild.
Next.
Mail for you, sir.
Thanks. About time. Been quiet around
아
here
제발
lately.
10은 안 넘겼으면 좋겠는데.
Honey, I could have gotten that.
Stop that, Tanya. Don't you treat me like I'm useless too.
I didn't mean that. I
Just remember, I only lost a leg. I didn't become one of those things.
No. But, well, who's the letter from?
HQ. And I can tell you what it says before I open it. Yep. I've been booted. No longer fit for duty.
No. Oh, honey.
Oh, shut up. I don't need your pity. What I need is something to fucking do.
Oh.
Right now, I'm just a lame horse waiting to be shot.
Well, maybe just give it some time, honey. There's plenty someone in your condition can...
What did I just say? None of your fucking pity. I may have lost my leg, but I can still chase you down. I still got two hands to slap you with. So shut your fucking mouth.
왜 나한테 지랄이야? 지가 인정 못 받, 다치든 뭐 인정을 못 받았든 그렇게 해갖고 그렇게 된 거면서. 근데 뭐 내가 이런다고 쟤도 내 말 귓구녕이나 듣겠어. 그래서 넌 또 뭘 주냐? 뭘 요구할 거야 나한테?
Ranting? Son,
역사
I'm trying to
공부를 했지.
safeguard our
사이드 퀘스트가
collective
이름이.
memory. I'm only trying to preserve history.
Seems like a big task. Can one man even do that?
I certainly can. Why, for 30 years
이름이
I
또
was a tour
잭스야?
guide here. After the fall, I founded the Villador Historical Conservation Society.
Doesn't seem to be much to conserve around here anymore.
Thank the renegades for that. Still, more than ever, we must
아
remember.
그래 보존하세요. 근데 그걸 저한테
We
시키지
must
마시고요.
preserve it. Otherwise, we'll slip
원래
back
그런 건
into
이제
dark
국가에서
ages for
이제
good.
지원금이라도
We can't
나와야지
build a
하는
future
거
for
아닌가.
humankind if we
물론
don't
이제
know our
학구적인 그
history.
열망이 있는
What do you
사람들은
say
항상
I ask you
존재하니까.
2 or 3 questions
뭐
about
그래도 이제
that?
밥은 먹고 살아야 될
See
거
if
아닙니까,
you've been
사람이.
paying attention. See how much history you know.
물론이지 안 될 거 있나?
Sure, why not?
Good. Let's start with one of the defining moments of our recent history. A tragic event that had such an impact, it still defines how the city looks today. Here goes. What occurred here that is known as Black Monday?
블랙 먼데이.
The first outbreak of the virus in the city.
Wrong. You should listen more to people and their stories. It shouldn't be hard. Everybody here lost somebody during Black Monday.
I'll try to do better next time.
다시.
Travel around. You're not. You're.
뭘 준비가 안 됐어. 넌 아직 준비가 안 돼. 네가 1, 2단이야 뭐야.
Travel around this.
존나 때리고 싶다. 됐어, 일단 보고부터 해. 가렵지.
Hey, hotshot. How deliveries go?
The usual. I was given a letter.
I'll make sure that's processed.
Thanks, Professor.
Bloody hell, you're
8점?
just scrambling up the ladder
제가
here.
생각했던 것 정도로
A few more
나왔었다.
rungs and you're gonna get promoted again.
뭘 승진을 해? 승진 안 해도 돼. 그거 한다고 뭐 없잖아.
My good man. I hate to
좋아.
see you.
일단 한동안 또 이제 연락이 없겠군. 그럼 됐어. 한동안은 아닥하고 있겠구만. 그럼 됐지 뭐. 한 8점 정도 되는 것 같아요. 저 솔직히 이제 그냥 뭐 원래 저는 다일라이트 스토리를 기대고 했던 게 아니라서 원래 좀비아포칼립스물은 뭐 그냥 사람들이 기대치란 게 있잖아요. 뭐 이제 뭐 엄청 대단한 그리고 그런 뭔가 대단한 작품들이 뭐 한 번에 나오는 것도 뭐 몇 년에 한 번 나오는 것도 아니니까 자주 나오는 것도 아니고 원래 이제 이 개발사가 뭐 그 스토리가 좋아가지고 그 전작이 흥했던 것도 아니고 이제 라오어 원 정도의 스토리를 뽑아줘야 이제 사람들이 기대를 하고 있지. 이 편의 그지 같으면 이제 불타오르고 뭐 이러는 거지.
So, what do you say I ask you?
Sure.
Good. A tragic event. What occurred here that is known as Black Monday?
자, 화학물질
That would
볼게요.
be the chemical strikes on the city 11 years ago.
Correct. On January 6th, 2025, at 0800 hours, the butcher, Colonel Williams, decided to use a newly discovered chemical compound, the THV Gen Mod, to eradicate the virus. Hope of reclaiming control of the city turned to tragedy. Millions of residents were killed. It also caused terrifying mutations of the infected, turning them into what we now call specialists. The chemicals are still potent to this day. Don't go near them. Let's discuss the March massacre. You recall what happened on that day?
3월의 약살? 무기를 압수해 항의하던 63명의 민간인을 죽였지.
The army killed 64 civilians protesting against weapons confiscation.
You actually have been paying attention. This is correct. This shooting triggered the escalation of riots in the city, which finally led to the fall of General Pratt and Colonel Williams taking over. The army confiscated all the guns and ammo. It all started there, south of Houndfield, by the monument of the World Art Congress. The last question. Let's go for a moment out of Villador and take a global perspective. Before mutating to become tacky transmissive, THV was simply known as Haran virus. Haran is where it all started. But do you remember when the Haran events happened?
아. 14년 봄.
In early spring 2014.
Bravo! I'm impressed, young man. Indeed, the virus emerged during Haran's Global Athletic Games in 2014 and went dormant after the city was quarantined. It was subsequently turned into an exclusion zone by the GRE. I remember those would-be games. I even took a week off to watch them. My country had many medal prospects. No one expected it would become hell on Earth. The virus resurfaced 7 years later in a mutated form.
용님 안녕하세요. 오늘 선별진료소에서 검사 키트 나눠주고 잠시 눈 감았는데 하루가 끝났어요. 너무
그래요?
슬프네요.
맛있는 거 드시면서 이제 힐링하십시오. 아직 배달 음식 하잖아. 이럴 때는 맛있는 거 먹으면서 이제 안 좋은 일이든 뭐 잊어버리는 거지, 뭐 힘든 일이든.
We're always just a few burning history books away from darkness. Here's a small token of my appreciation. Should teach you a bit about one of my favorite parts of the city, the catacombs.
지하묘지. 지하 공동묘지. 자, 지하묘지. 12세기 광산 터널로 사용되던 공간을 활용하여 수십 킬로를 뻗어나가 서로 만날 정도가 된 공간으로 50만 이상의 시신들이 안치되어 있다고 알려져 있습니다. 전설에 따르면 지하묘지에 있는 무덤에는 귀중한 보물이 숨겨져 있으며 비밀 터널이 도시 외곽까지 이어진다고 합니다. 광산 터널 그래야죠. 아 근데 여기인데 이제 뭐 다른 게임들 또 나와가지고 모르겠어요. 얼마나 걸릴지. 지금 진짜 미쳐버릴 것 같아. 요즘에 너무 바빠. 너무 바쁜데 왜 내가 버는 돈은 똑같냐고. 심지어 올해 이번 달엔 더 줄어들 것 같다고. 왜 진짜 요즘 진짜 역대 가장 열심히 살고 있는데 내 인생. 대체 왜 이해를 할 수가 없어. 대체 왜 지금 요즘 진짜 내 인생에서 가장 바쁜 시간 중 하나. 원래도 이제 뭐 그렇게 이제 놀진 않았지만 정말 바빠. 리뷰를 만들고 나서 더 바빠졌어. 뭐 바쁘면 이제 별 잡생각 안 나서 좋긴 한데 이제 바쁜 것 때문에 이제 어느 순간에 이제 번아웃이 와가지고 이제 또 얘가 해롱거리니까 나도 알아 그거 내가 스스로. 그래갖고 이제 그걸 적당히 조절해야 되는데 너무 바쁘네요 이번 달에. 게임이 계속 나오니까. 뭘 끝내기 전에 게임이 새로 나와버리고. 파판도야, 파판 오리지널도 사실 다시 해야 되는데.
Kyra.
So, have you found any dog tags yet?
자, 시에라, 작은 론, 그리고 KD의 군번줄을 찾았어.
I found the dog tags of Sierra, Little Ron, and Kitty.
Thank you, Pilgrim. This is for you.
This is for you. 스토리만 몇 시간인가요? 메인 뭐 적당히 하면 그 정도는 안 걸리지 않을까? 나중에 돌아올게.
That's all for now.
아, 뭐 긴 것도 이제 어느 적당히 길어야죠. 솔직히 이제 방송하면 솔직히 방송 게임 출시되고 일주일 정도 되면 수명이 끝나버리는데 보통 스트리밍 게임으로서는 엔간치 재밌는 게임 아니고서 엔간치 재밌는 게임도 그러는데. 유명하신 분들이 이제 웬만하면 이제 메인만 하거나 찍먹하는 이유가 있어. 계속 새로운 게임을 해야 그때는 그거 하는 건데 원래는. 어휴, 관물대 진짜 어마무시하다 씨. 더 어마무시한 건 뭔 줄 알아? 조사가 안 된다는 거야 지금. 여기 밑에 있었구나. 리암과 자기 자신과 아버지 그리고 삼촌과 함께 있는 모습을 그리는 그림. 리암이랑.
So what did you find, son?
You know anything about this?
Not really, but it's good. Beau Cram work, if you ask me.
Who drew it?
Couldn't tell you. I've seen Bart with pictures like this off and on over the last year. But as far as I know, he doesn't have children of his own.
조카인가 보지 뭐.
Children. Mine are all grown. Not all is still alive either, sadly. But I remember when they were young and happy, drawing constantly. They scribbled their way through boxes and boxes of crayons. The kid who drew that, he's a happy kid.
Oh, if Bart doesn't have kids, where'd he get it?
Probably child of a friend or something. He was kind to everyone. Here, there, everywhere. Unless you were a bully.
Oh, this doesn't help. Now what do I do?
You might ask Stack over at the canteen. Seen them together a few times. Bart helped him when he was in some trouble. Helped everyone a lot.
Thanks. I'll go talk to that Stack.
자, 스테치에게 바트에 관해 질문한다.
My family never really respected me.
Rowdy bunch. Just what we need.
사이드 퀘스트 지옥이다 진짜. 끝이 안 나네. 아, 야. 아니 이럴 거면 이렇게 멀리 있으면 나갈 거라 물어보지. 아, 씨앙 야 이때 같은 놈들아. 이러지 말지. 이런 새끼들 진짜. 괜히 한참 걸어 나왔잖아. 씨. 그쳐 있는 줄 알고 씨. 탈영병 하나 찾는데 이렇게까지 해야 되냐. 올라가?
It's a shame he's such a bruiser.
He's looking for a husband.
You proud?
아니 잠깐 프랭크.
PKs will help us here?
너
Sweet weapon you got there, Aiden.
너 아까 나한테 이제 라완 그거 어디 연락 안 된다고 독서를 퍼붓더니 여기서 이제 이 누나와 한 몸이 되어가고 있었어? 이 녀석, 네가 날 비난할 처지가 아니었잖아.
Doc, I was told you know Bart.
Who doesn't know Bart? What's this all about, anyway?
아니 도라켜? 탈영병이라서 찾고 있어.
He left his post. He's accused of desertion.
Son of a bitch. He finally went for it. Good for him. Good for them. If I were you, I'd just leave him be. We all should. This probably happened because Meyer can't keep a leash on her men. You hear any other bullshit about Bart?
도둑질을 해서 찾고 있어.
Well, he's been accused of theft.
Well, that's nonsense, that is. Bart is honest as the day is long. He's got no reason to steal from anyone.
And his CO doesn't want to believe it either.
You mean Meyer?
That's all I've been told.
Trust me, a lot of other PK have had it in for Bart since day one. Meyer's respected, mostly. But when it came to Bart, her men refused to follow her lead. I trust you, so I'll tell you this. Bart's loyal military, but he had another side. Like the outdoors, always out near the fields. Ask the field workers on top of the old office building at the intersection of Van Peel and St. Paul Boulevard. It's right here in New Dorn Park.
Thanks. I'll do just that.
현장 작업자는 또 뭘 있냐 정말.
Don't you have things to do?
아직도 그러고 있냐?
Thank you, Aiden. I know what you're doing. The city remembers its night runners.
아직도 그러고 있으면 어떡해.
Remember, Pilgrim, not what happened to you.
아, 개 싫어. 작업자 어디 있어? 여기 아니야? 맞잖아. 심지어 더 빡치는 건 저쪽에 있었어.
Hi, looking for Bart. Can you tell me anything about
올라오는
him?
줄이 있었어.
For one, you're not his type.
Wait, what?
Relax, honey. I was just pulling your leg. The look on your face, my. To answer your question, I can tell you that Bart is as fine a man as I've ever known. High praise, I know, but I'm not just talking his looks. He's brave, kind, caring, loves children. Especially Andy's son, Liam.
Andy?
Bart's bestie, Andy. Those two are like two peas in a pod. And Liam, he's, well, like a spring pea, I guess. How Bart dotes on that boy.
So where can I find him?
Probably at Andy's. They had a few of us up for some cool drinks just yesterday. Such kind souls.
Up? Where?
Andy's place is over there. Not far. You can get there quicker if you're any good at climbing.
Yeah, good to know. Thanks a lot.
My pleasure. You tell those boys I said hi.
That place is cursed, I tell you.
아파트를 조사. 그림.
I bet I know who this belongs to. It can't be far. Huh. Steve.
스티브?
What does this mean?
뭐야?
Looks like I'm in luck.
클린트.
Let's have ourselves a little chat. Introductions are in order. You're Bart, I presume.
아니?
No, why do you ask?
Then you must be Andy.
아니?
Nope, wrong again.
Then stop wasting my time and tell me who you were.
A competitor, apparently.
So you're after Bart too?
I am.
She must be really jonesing for what
대체
Bart
물음표
stole.
같길래.
She's hiding any old Tom, Dick or Harry.
I didn't realize this was a horse race either.
Normally situations like this piss me off. But if Moyer hired us both, it means we're on the same side and can share intel. So, did you dig up anything on Bart?
혹시 스티브라는 사람 알고 있나?
Something. Does the name Steve ring any bells for you?
Steve, yeah. Slippery Steve. Slime bucket. What's he got to do with this?
Oh, he left what looks like his calling card.
He'll be in the canteen. But he'll see me coming a mile away and try to sneak out. Since you don't know each other, you can walk right up to him.
Good idea.
Let's play it this way. You intercept Steve at the canteen, and me and me boys are waiting outside. Make sure he doesn't try and give you the slip.
Sounds solid.
Keep us in your back pocket. But if he gets cagey, then tell him we're outside waiting. So we can talk to you, or come out and talk to us. And we're more likely to be talking with our fists.
I'll do that.
뭐니 안 먹어? 그럼 이제 또 스티브를 신문을 하라고. 나한테 참 바라는 게 많은 친구들이구만 이거. 대체 이 타령과 어떤 이야기가 이렇게 얽혀있길래 이렇게까지 해야 되는 거야. 그냥 이제 신경 하나 타령한 거 아니었어? 그럼 이제 어디 PC방에서 찾으면 될 거 가지고.
Well, it sure does. Where'd you find it? How may I serve you?
Well, you can serve me by telling me what you know of Bart and Andy.
Never heard of them. Even if I had, I take client confidentiality very seriously.
And I take finding them very seriously.
How seriously?
Stop fucking with me.
거래를 제안한다.
Maybe you would rather be fucking with Clint instead. Is that what you want, you piece of shit?
Don't tell me you're working with that scum. Whatever deal you two made, he'll cross you. Probably kill you too.
I know. He has no poker face, so tell me what I want to know. Then I can be on my way without Clint. He can't fault you for me betraying him. So talk.
Fine! Your Bobbsey twins hired me to make sure they and their kid got to the Colonel safely. Paid well, easy job really. But we ran into a peacekeeper patrol along the way. Nasty bunch. Ugh. Your boys freaked the hell out, worried about the kid, and had me leave him right then and there. I mean, what do I care? They paid up front.
All right then, tell me where you left him.
Okay, there's an old coffee shop not far from here, by the off-ramp from the E12. By a metro stop. You can figure it out from there.
아 참. 저 오래된 카페 근처에서 바트를 찾아. 아유, 자꾸 바트야, 너 멀리 가냐. 야, 우리 호머 심슨이 정말 널 찾으면 죽여버린다 그랬어. 알았어? 그 전에 너 나한테 죽을 수도 있다. 알았어? 여기냐?
Signs of a fight. Recent, too. Very recent. Oh, the weapon broke. Looks familiar. They're hiding nearby. Based on this, they gotta be.
이 아닌가? 근데 이 안은 딱히 들어가는 길이 지금 없는데?
Damn renegades.
They ambushed me. Took everything I had.
We'll dress your wound. As good as new.
They even took my wedding ring.
Stop moving. I can't wrap this bandage.
아이씨. 아우. 빡돌아. 비켜. 빡돌아. 아이 더러운 녀석 들이밀지 말고 씨. 아주 아니 어디 있는 거야? 저기냐? 열어. 나와.
Who the hell are you, and what do you want?
Whoa, calm down. Yeah, I'm just here to talk. You look familiar.
자전거에 아직 안 타봤어요.
Yeah, you're Aiden. Demire sent you.
Yeah, she told me to find you and get back what you stole. But I talked to Sta, and more than a few others about you. Maybe think there's more to this situation than meets the eye.
Meyer tried, but she couldn't help. I couldn't take it anymore. Day after day.
Will you two keep it down? Liam's asleep in the next room.
But whatever your personal issues are, desertion and theft are serious. She plans to send her men for you.
She'll get a lot of volunteers for the search team. I'll be executed on the spot if they find me. Probably why she sent you. Give me a running start.
So, you did steal the map.
It isn't a map, per se, but tells the location of some secret PK stash. Weapons, I bet. It's all I can think of to offer in exchange for the Colonel granting safe haven to the three of us.
I see.
Like hell. People like you never do. You never see.
Andy, stay out of this.
It's too late for that. You know it. Fuck this map or stash or whatever the fuck it is. The PK are the monsters here.
Surely you understand. You'd have taken this from me by now if you didn't.
Is that what you think?
I do. If you go back to Meyer and tell her you've killed us, I'll give you the coded message. And my dog tags. Do this. Please.
아, 애가 있어가지고 차마 죽일 수가 없다 얘들은.
I sympathize. But desertion and theft are serious crimes and I have a job to do.
Please. This isn't desertion. This is survival. Not just for me, but Andy and Liam as well.
Would you please just help us?
좋아, 알았어.
None of you deserve this. Least of all, Liam. I'll help you.
Oh, thank God. Andy, give Aiden the message and my dog tags. It's okay.
If you say so.
I had planned on going to the ship's library and finding a book or two that could help me decipher it. But things went south real quick. I didn't have time to check.
Maybe I'll check. I'm curious what this is all about.
Just don't get caught, or you'll be right behind us. Assuming you don't get caught, you'll never see us again.
You're better off not going to the Colonel anyway. You know they call him the Butcher, right?
We don't have a choice.
What do we do?
Stay here for now, till we figure out what to do next.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. If I could find you here, others could just as easily. You should keep moving.
You're right. We gotta keep a low profile in any case. But at least we're alive, and we'll be together.
I wish you all luck. Take care.
Looks like we got a real party going on here.
You're Clint's man, I gather.
Yep, he weren't kidding. You're a real bloodhound to track these pervs down like you did.
Wait there. I'll handle this.
그래.
Your work is done here. Just give us the map, and we'll take it to the canteen where Clint's waiting for it.
지도는 내가 전달해. 이 사람들은 보내줘.
Clint'll get the map, but I'll take it to him myself. Just let these people go. We've been through enough.
This ain't your concern anymore, and neither are they. So while we're wrapping things up here, you head to the canteen to meet Clint. It's been a pleasure working with you, Aiden. Let's finish this, fellas.
Hold up. I told you to let him go.
Don't try and stop us, or that heart of
뭐래?
yours will stop beating soon.
Oh, we'll see about that. Gotta make sure these people are safe, then take this map to Meyer. Fucking animals.
Have it your way. Get him, fellas.
쫄디 석궁한테 허접한 새끼들아. 석궁한테 이렇게 하면서 왜 깝친 거야?
You're safe. They can't hurt you now.
괜찮을 거야.
The last of our worries. Don't talk like that. We're alive, thanks to Aiden.
I suppose.
아니요, 안 될 거예요. 레벨에 맞춰서 알아서 데미지가 오르는 것
Let's get
같은데.
packing. Quickly.
Good idea. You don't want anyone else finding you.
아무튼 뭐 무사히 잘 살기를 기도할게. 기왕 구해준 거 내가. 굳이 안 구해줘도 되는 건데 구해줬으니까. 잘 살아. 니들이 잘못 살면 구해준 내가 겁나 찝찝해지잖아. 할 수 있는 내에선 최대한 지금 행복하게 살아라. 그게 뭐 바자애들 인성만 봐도 좋은 평가를 주기 힘들다고.
You're back. And?
And your boy Clint was a real charmer. Thanks for that.
Look, I had to double down on finding Bart. Tell me you found him at least.
I did.
And?
죽었어요.
Here's his dog tags. He's a little too dead right now to need them anymore.
But Aiden, you weren't supposed to kill him. Even I wasn't gonna let that happen.
He attacked me. I had to defend myself.
I see. But the map. Tell me you at least got the map.
지도를 건넨다.
Yeah, right here, as promised. And I know it's not a map.
Whatever. Thank fucking Christ.
아니 뭐 일단 그 바트가 죽였다고 말해달라고 했어요. 그래서 그래요.
Months of planning. Things are now unfucked. Thanks to you.
I'm glad to hear it.
뿅. 자, 다잉라이트 2 저번 시간에 이어서 계속해서 진행해 보도록 하죠. 빨리 그래 빨리 교환해줘. 오케이. 이게 그거더라고요. 에픽게임즈랑 또 저는 이제 에픽게임즈라니까 에픽게임즈랑 연동이 돼 있어야 하더라고. 깨빡돌. 좋아. 이제 이렇게 해서 후사를 얻고 후사르. 경찰봉. 자 이제 또 뭐 하나씩 또 차곡차곡 하기 전에 아이템부터 좀 정리를 좀 해야겠다. 그래요. 정리해 보도록 해요. 이제 7레벨짜리 무기를 파네. 팔기는 별 의미는 없지만. 라자루스는 어쨌든 이제 스토리로 얻는 거라 엔간하면 팔진 말자. 나름 에이터가 선물로 준 거라. 자, 또 오늘 또 이제 사이드 퀘스트 열심히 하고 최대한 빨리 진행을 해서 늦어도 내일까지는 이제 엔딩을 봐야지 될 것 같은 느낌인데 과연 볼 수 있을지 모르겠네. 나는 행복할 수 있을 것인가? 지금요? 사펑이요? 잠깐! 팔아버렸어. 하지만 이 게임은 되사기가 있죠. 근데 그냥 있는 거 입어도 되겠다. 글쎄요. 정확히 얼마나 나왔더라? 잘 기억이 오래돼서.
Keep coming. Keep coming.
그 유튜브 그 화수 보시면 나오지 않나요, 대충? 자, 이제 갑자기 또 이제 운송인 퀘스트 9이 또 나왔어. 9이라. 이런 9. 끔찍하군. 하지만 안 할 수는 없군. 발더스 게이터는 원래 분량이 엄청난 게임이고.
A few or a lot. I'll take whatever.
Good man.
또 아주 가깝진 않구만. 뭐 가면 되지 뭐 그래도. 나 여기 안전지대 활성화했을 텐데. 왜 꼭 이런 거 안 한 걸로 나온다니까 가끔. 희한해. 안 한 것처럼 나와 표시가.
Shit. Holy shit. What's the meaning of this? Don't you know the law?
깍.
Till today, I thought our chances against renegades.
미안이고. 응? 뭔 누가 웃었어? 뭘 잘했다고 웃어?
Carrier with a letter for you?
Excellent, thank you. Oh, very interesting. This is not quite the news I expected, but welcome
그런 게 있어요?
nonetheless.
근데 뭐 그냥 이제 석궁도 충분히 세잖아요. 네. 석궁도 너무 사귄 것 같던데.
I'm sure you of all people understand the value of information.
Yeah, certainly.
The guild has its network, but we overseers, I would say,
오버시요?
we're more like
폴오시요?
spiders. We crisscross the city with our webs and take notice when we feel a tug on this thread or that.
I see.
I'm sure you do. And yes, we occasionally feed upon the poor flies caught in our web, but we're just as likely to give them a treat as well. To keep our web strong, of course.
Of course.
So, perhaps I won't share the tidbit that got caught on my web this time. But I will reward the fly who tugged on the thread and called it to my attention. Make sure my little fly is rewarded. And there's a little morsel for you as well.
아, 그래요? 뭐 둠 이스트에그 무기면 이제 안 좋을 수가 없죠. 네. 하긴 전작에도 이제 슈퍼마리오라든가 이런 거 있었으니까. 이스트에그 중에. 난 끝이야. Oh, great. 진짜 이거 몇 가지 쓸지 이거 운송 퀘스트.
Here's a package for you.
Oh my. I've been waiting for this. The new issue of Flickr Fanfare magazine.
What's that?
지금 리뷰도 또 만들어야 되는 거
behind the scenes
밀렸는데.
info on your favorite movies, their stars and directors. Oh look, it says here that Lana Kasdan has a new film coming out. That eggy canvas performance in the Quigley is a tour
애들링도
de
있고 뭐
force.
파판도 원래 하다가
what's a
지금 못하고
movie?
있는데 파판 쌤은 오리지널.
You know if you read Flicker Fanfare, my friend. I used to read them slavishly when I was younger. I recently found someone with a complete collection. I pay him to send me an issue a month. I feel like I'm back in the old days when movies were being made and magazine subscriptions were in vogue.
I see. Interesting.
Forgive my pathetic nostalgia, but the arrival of these
그래 나중에 이제 출판물 진짜 이런 세계관 되면 이제 출판물 이런 거 보는 것도 엄청 그거 할 것
They're a
같아.
monthly oasis
느낌이
from the
새롭겠다.
pervasive drear around us.
I can't argue with you there.
영화는 보지도
So
못할
don't.
거고 거의.
Now, leave me. It says that Teddy Canterbury is having an affair with his leading lady, and he's married to a man. Oh, I swear the cat is just insatiable.
다시 길드로 돌아가. 자. 아 근데 이제 솔직히 말하면 좀 포인트마다 빠른 이동 좀 지원해줬으면 참 좋았을 텐데 이런 지하철역 말고 안전지대마다 최소한 파란색.
Back in one piece, I see.
Of course. Here's a message I was given.
I'll take care of that. Now get your ass back here soon. These messages aren't going to deliver themselves.
모르겠어요. 나중에 업데이트로 전작은 업데이트로 해줬던가 그랬던 것 같기도 하고.
I'm restless, Professor. I need something to do.
자 드디어
I've got
운송인
some
템.
deliveries for you.
Sweet.
제발 끝나.
Just watch yourself. There's something in the air.
Like what?
I can't put my finger on it. But watch your back.
그래 10 정도 했으면 끝나야지 인간적으로. 너무 길어 씨야. 네 안녕하세요. 아이고 이번에 진짜 멀기도 한 곳이 멀기도 하네. 뭐야 이 지역이야? 오랜만에 이 지역에 왔구나. 그렇다면 가는 길에 이것도 끝내버려야겠구나. 여기가 아마 지하철역이었던 것 같은데 이쪽 지하철역도 뚫어야겠구나. 그리고 토화물 있었고 그렇겠구나. 어이 깜짝이야. 또 튕긴 줄 알았네. 자 일단 근처에 풍차 먼저 넣고 갑시다. 근데 저도 한참 지금 이제 전업으로 뭐 지금도 전업이긴 하지만 한참 많이 할 때는 10시간씩 했으니까 10시간씩 했던 시절도 있으니까 그때에 비하면 이제 많이 줄어든 것도 사실이고 방송 시간. 아 돌아가고 싶다. 10시간씩 하던 시절. 아니 10년 전에는 10시간은 무슨 그땐 2-3시간 하고 땡이었어. 그땐 직장을 풀타임으로 다녔으니까 시간도 없고 돈도 없고. 네, 그 글라이더도 먹어요. 스태미너 많이 먹습니다. 밤이 깊었네. 여기도 GR 이상 현상이 있었어. 너 뭐를 씨 무슨 뭐 솔직히 말하면 전 20대 때가 지금보다 더 건강이 안 좋았다기보다는 어조비 며치였어가지고 굳이 뭐 돌아가고 싶진 않은데. 뭐야? 아이 깜짝이야. 이게 뭐야 갑자기? 오예. GR 이상 현상 하고 이쪽에 있는 지하철 하고 갑시다. 지하철 그거 하러 갑시다. 그러니 석궁원 앞에서 깝치지 말았어야지 어리석은 자여. 거기서 넌 이미 진 것이다. 제가 듀얼센스로 안 해봐서 잘 모르겠네. 막 잘 지원되진 않을 것 같은데. 저 그냥 액박 패드로 해가지고. 네. 와 세상에 거의 다 찍어간다. 내가 생각해도 어마무시하구만 이거. 아 그건 있어요. 저도 이제 딱히 그러니까 설사 이제 비트코인이나 이런 걸 이런 게 나오는 시대를 세계관을 전혀 모르는 상태로 만약 과거로 돌아가도 지금 정도 딱 지금 정도의 멘탈과 마인드로 인생에 대한 마인드로 돌아갔으면 재밌을 것 같다는 생각입니다. 설사 비트코인이 그걸 어떻게 되는지 잘 모르더라도. 너무 이제 20대 때는 너무 쫓기듯이 살았어. 여러 가지 의미에서 마음이 뭔가에 항상 쫓겨 있었어. 딱히 뭐 그거 할 것도 없었는데 아마 40대가 돼가지고 30대를 돌아봐도 참 30대 때는 쫓기듯이 살았다 이 생각할 것 같긴 한데 아 그만 똥강아지라. 뭐가 마음이 항상 급했는지 모르겠어. 그것 때문에 이제 멘탈도 많이 그거 되고 박살나고. 열심히 사는 게 아니라 좀 열심히 사는 걸 떠나가지고 뭐라고 해야 되지? 좀 마음의 여유를 갖고 살았었으면 참 좋았을 것 같다는 생각을. 그리고 이제 쉴 때 쉬고 맨날 이제 막 뭐에 쫓긴 듯이 살아가지고 막 뭐 안 쉬면서 뭔가 맨날 하고 있고 막. 근데 그게 딱 결과가 막 좋은 것도 아니었어. 그렇게 해갖고 나온 결과물들이. 꼭 이걸 해야지 된다는 뭐 강박관념 그게 사로잡혀서 장비 같은 거 하나도 마찬가지고 꼭 이걸 사야 된다는 강박관념에 사로잡혀서 굳이 필요 없는 것들도 이라도 그런 것들이 좀 많지 않았나 여러분. 그거에서만 좀 더 자유로웠으면 그래도 좀 마음 편하게 살았을 것 같은데. 어차피 이제 제가 뭐 돈이 무진장 썩어날 정도로 많은 인간은 아니니까 당연히 이제 그 나름대로의 괴로움과 고통은 있었겠지만 마음이라도 좀 편하게 가졌으면 훨씬 괜찮았을 것 같다는 생각이 들어가지고 어차피 뭐 네. 어차피 이제 잘 안 되는 거 이제 마음만 급한다고 뭐 해결되는 거 하나도 없잖아. 잘 되든 안 되든 뭘 해야 해결이 되는 거지. 근데 그 하는 걸 이제 너무 조급하게 해봤자 뭐 조급하게 하고 이제 무조건 집착해서 뭐 한다고 이제 뭐 결과물이 썩 좋은 것도 아니고. 그만해. 어차피 이제 20대 초중반에 뭐 경험이 있길래 그렇다고 내가 뭘 많이 배웠길래 사실 뭔가 엄청 그렇게 강박에 맞춰서 뭔가를 해봤자 뭐 잘 될 리가 거의 없거든. 너무 막 그런 거에 좀 사로잡혀서 살지 않았나. 사람을 대하는 것도 마찬가지고 사람을 대하는 태도적인 부분도 마찬가지고 그래서 이제 만약에 혹시 내가 나중에 막 있잖아요 비트코인이 확 난다거나 이제 뭐 그런 이제 그런 걸 전혀 집값이 막 몇 배로 오른다든가 뭐 이런 걸 전혀 모른 채로 돌아가도 이제 그냥 지금 정도의 마인드로만 좀 살았으면 더 재밌었을 거야. 아니 뭐 안 될 수도 있지. 그냥 뭐 이제 그냥 좀 그리고 이제 뭐 오지마 시기야. 꼭 이걸 지금 해야 돼 뭐 이런 거 말고 근데 뭐 이제 좀 피곤하고 뭐 그런데 이제 컨디션 좀 챙길 수 있지 뭐 하면서 이제 이 삶을 좀 여유 좀 가지면서 하고 막. 지금도 딱히 그렇게 살고 있진 않지만. 그런 태도가 좀 더 어쨌든 필요하지 않았나. 실제로 그렇게 못 살더라도 그런 마음가짐 정도는 가지고 있으면 이제 좀 더 낫지 않았을까. 여러분. 아이씨, 망했다. 그거에 관해서는 아직 떡밥 정도만 나온 상태예요. 멀리 가야 돼. 우효. 아주. 아니요, 저 노멀 일반판 샀어요. 돈이 어딨어. 내가 요즘에 그지야. 아껴야 돼. 아끼고 또 아끼고 아껴야 돼. 이번 달에 또 마침 15년 넘게 쓴 냉장고가 드디어 맛이 가가지고 LG 거였으면 지문도 썼을 텐데 하필 삼성 거라 삼성 냉장고였어가지고 그래도 15년 많이 썼다 나름대로. 그래가지고 완전 그지인데 그것도 내 카드로 긁었는데. 아, 평균인데 말이 그렇다 이거지. 쓸 만큼 썼죠 15년이면. 체력 수치요? 왼쪽 위에요. 있잖아. 이게 체력인데. 올라가. 이게 두 번 눌러야 올라가더라. 아, 숫자로요? 이거에서 보면 돼요. 네. 저 지금 360이네요. 근데 커피예요. 디카페인 커피. 뭘 약이야? 내가 보약을 이렇게 먹는 사람이 어딨어? 야, 있을라나? 근데 난 아니야. 나는 아니라고요. 좋아, 이제 지하철도 열었고 어쨌든 밤이니까 그래요. 이거 먼저 하고 갑시다. 네. 요즘 또 술을 또 너무 마셨더니 살이 또 살살 올라오려고 그런다. 그래봤자 뭐 1~2kg 왔다 갔다 하는 수준이지. 어느 정도 다이어트를 해놓으니까 이제 웬만큼 먹어가지고 살이 안 쪄다. 바로 찌지는 않더라고. 근데 이제 동생 오고 이제 그래가지고 이번 주에 좀 많이 먹었더니 씨. 먹기도 막 치맥도 하고 막 이제 어제도 이제 한잔 했더니 씨. 아휴, 또 다음 주 또 한번 관리 들어가야겠어. 솔직히 술값도 아깝고. 잘 모르겠어요. 전작보다 넓은 것 같긴 한데 전반적으로 어차피 반복적인 에어리어가 많은 거라서. 아, 네, 안녕하세요. 요즘 좀 안 오시더니 또 바쁘셨나봐요. 오셨는데 내가 모른 건가? Package inbound.
I have a letter for you.
Ooh, look at this envelope, Berto. So pretty. I bet it's a wedding invitation.
So pretty.
God, I hope not. My tux rotted away years ago.
Oh, hush. Yep, it's a wedding. And can you believe it? Garrett, you know him.
Of course I do. What's he getting married for? That kid's played women like a loose game of three-card Monty for a while now.
Stop. It's some girl named Cordelia.
Cordelia? I remember her from somewhere. You asked me, that girl was selling not so much goods, but plenty of services, if you know what I mean.
Oh, you're terrible. I'm sure she's very sweet and they'll make a great couple.
If you say so. But I don't want to go to their wedding. That marriage will be over in a month. Besides,
그래요?
my tux rotted
잘
away
됐네.
years ago.
Don't you worry.
좀 잘 되세요. 더 잘 되시길 바랄게요. 잘 돼야 나도 잘
So they're
되지.
just rubbing our noses in their
나한테도 뭔가
so-called
떡고물이
love.
떨어지지.
Well, I can live with that. It means we don't have to buy gifts. Besides, my tux.
Will you just please shut up about your tux?
자, 다음. 아, 왜 이걸 못 올라가냐? 정신 차려. 야하.
Carriers Guild here with a letter.
Thank you so much, son. So kind.
진짜 이제
of you to
11까지 있는 거 아니지? 솔직히
course, ma'am.
10이면
I
충분하잖아. 말이 할
don't get
만큼 했잖아.
much in the way of visitors.
I'm sorry to.
How's the bazaar these days? Still bustling? Oh, how it smelled. Some thought it rank, but not me. It's been so long.
Well, at least you have people writing to you to tell you stories of the world outside your flat.
Yes, yes. I'm a lucky woman at that. Listen to me bending your ear. Forgive an old woman. I'll let you go.
No trouble at all, ma'am.
How's Mrs. Krasinski today, Carrier?
She seemed fine, I guess. Why?
Oh, I'm just wondering. She's all alone. Got no one. I worry about her.
Well, I just delivered a letter, so she must have someone.
Well, not really.
I mean, I talked to her, but I also send those letters for her.
뭘 왜
The only other
보내?
people she gets to talk to are you carriers.
I had no idea.
You're not supposed to, but
깜짝이야. 처음 나올 때부터 뭔가 등짝을 보이고 있길래 약간 그건 줄 알았는데 위험한 남자 혹은 이제 오류인 줄 그건 줄 알아요. 버그인 줄 알았는데 착한 사람이었구만. 나름. 뭐지?
Aiden, we have a situation.
What's going on?
Another ambush. This time it's Jack.
잭?
He just radioed an
그
SOS.
재수없던 놈?
Oh, shit.
Look, I know you guys don't get along, but
It doesn't matter. Just tell me where he is.
I'm sending you the coordinates.
Okay, I'm on it. If he calls again, tell him I'm on my way.
자, 잭이 기습을 받았다는 장소로 간다. 이쪽이냐? 알았다. 가보자. Renegade. Renegade. Gay. 아. Gay. 이런 허접한 녀석들. 자, 기다려라, 쟤. 그래, 우리 서로 이제 사이가 좋은 편은 아니었지만 어쨌든 그래도 같은 길드 동료인데.
I'm here. There's no sign of Jack. Not even much of a struggle.
Knock on some doors. See if anyone heard or saw anything. There's a family nearby.
뭔가 쎄한데.
Who is it? What do you want?
I'm from the Carriers Guild. I need your help.
What kind of help?
A fellow carrier was attacked nearby. Did you hear or see anything?
Yes, I saw something. What I saw convinced me that it's death for me to tell another soul.
You have nothing to fear. The Carriers Guild will protect you.
Can you? You want to protect us? Try clearing this floor of the infected. You know what it's like to live in a dark zone when monsters are lurking outside your front door all the time? My family and I are in enough danger without you added to our worries. So leave me be. Ask someone else.
I'll clear them out. And you'll help me then?
I'm sure you mean well, kid, but even if you succeeded, more would move in soon. You'll probably just get yourself killed in the process.
It's worth a shot. You got nothing to lose.
You're either crazy or desperate. But do it. If you survive, come back. And we'll talk.
해당 층의 감염자를 처리한다. 해야 되나요? 당연하지. 알았다. 파세이. 나 처리했어요. 나와요. 뒤지기 싫으면 빨리 본 거 말해줘요.
Hey, the infected are gone. For now.
You've slain them? All of them?
All of them.
So you have. Fine then. I will tell you of your friend.
가면은 레니게이드?
He was surprised by masked men. He couldn't even put up much of a fight. They just overwhelmed him and dragged him into a nearby building.
Is it inhabited?
I don't believe so. Except for the infected, of course.
Oh, great. Okay, thank you. You may have saved a life today.
And you have provided my family a respite from constant terror. Even if it lasts only for one night, we will be eternally grateful.
자, 그럼 이제 잭을 도우러 가봅시다.
Looks like you carriers are as reliable as your reputation. Or should I say, predictable?
I predict I'm gonna beat your ass.
You're having a party and you didn't invite me.
대리기?
What the?
Derek, the prodigal carrier, so you are behind this after all.
What are you talking about? I'm here to save your ass.
Save your own ass. Kill them both, boys.
Boys.
Catch that?
Boys. Boys. 어디 새끼야? 오샤. 운송일길드 습격. 자, 보스는 움직여야 할 때라고 한다. 길드를 약화시키기 위해 충분한 수의 운송인을 제거했고 점령할 준비가 끝났어. 드리스트 스콜은 살려줘. 나머지는 죽여라. AJ. 아, 거기 그 허먼 밀러 거기 회사에서 48개월 장기 렌탈 그걸 하길래 오늘 결제 직전까지 갔다가 정신 차렸어. 안 돼. 돈 모아서 살 거야. 현금으로 살 거야. 더 이상 할부는 안 해. 무슨 짓을 해서더라도 할부는 안 할
Looks
거야.
like I misjudged you.
Same as everyone else.
But,
I told you I'd have my eye on you,
아,
Pilgrim.
그 육아 파이 안에는
And I have.
초반부터 있었어요, 사실.
Especially since our first meeting. You're good, but when I saw you walking into a trap, I stepped in. I told you I'd be there when you slipped up.
I guess I took it the wrong way. Okay. So you're not the one hunting down carriers?
No, but I've been investigating. I've concluded it's someone on the inside.
Fuck. Any idea who?
I have my suspicions, but for now, I'm going after Jack.
But you were following him too?
Yeah, but I lost him after he was dragged in here, and then you showed up. He can't be far.
Calling all carriers. HQ is under attack. Nearby carriers to HQ immediately. We need help!
Oh, fuck.
이런.
That's Driscoll. We gotta get back to HQ.
Let's divide and conquer. You head to HQ and I'll find Jack.
Okay, radio in when you find him. I'm heading to HQ.
Watch yourself, Pilgrim, and good luck.
아, 진작. 아, 진작. 아, 이거 해야 되는데 갔다 와야 되잖아, 그럼. 그래, 일단 이 퀘스트. 적대 이제 또 챕터를 나눠야 되니까 퀘스트 하나 그대로 쭉 해가지고 해야 되니까 빠른 이동으로 갑시다. 갔다 옵시다. 다시 어차피 지하철 열어놨으니까 괜찮을 거야. 어우, 정답. 몇 프로죠, 몇 프로?
Welcome to the dead letter office, punk.
이런 씨, 무송기들 동료들 시키들아 시키들아 시키들아.
You like that?
You're mine. Mine. 아하하하. 아, 선 넘네 이것들.
Hey, we got another carrier crashing the
쓰지 않으려 했는데. 어디서 깝치고 있어? 석궁 앞에선 모두 평등한 법이지. 괜찮아?
If it weren't for Derek, I wouldn't have made it at all.
Derek? But I thought...
And so did I. But turns out all he wants is to come back to the guild. And killing carriers isn't the way to do it.
Then who's behind all this?
Well, Derek believes it's someone on the inside. I agree.
Yeah, I find that hard to believe.
Driscoll, you gotta come see this.
자, 습격자 리더의 시체를 조사한다. 뭐야? 이런 내부에 비신자가 있었구나. 역시.
He couldn't pull this off on his own.
With personalities like Jack and Derek around, his nice guy routine kept him off everyone's radar.
Aiden.
선을 무지 넘어버리네.
I found Jack. He's dead. Now his killers are too, but I beat a confession from one of them before finishing him off.
What did you learn?
Jaime was working for Waltz.
Waltz is behind this?
Waltz? I didn't see that coming.
Thanks, Derek. Gather Jack's things if you can.
거의 왈츠가 이제
I'll be in touch.
이 세계관의 만악의 근원이구만.
So what is Waltz after? Destroying the carriers to disrupt the network?
Waltz isn't a destroyer. He wants to control the network. He wants our archives all to himself.
I've heard about the carrier's Bible. Is there more?
A lot more. Maps, other books, vast quantities of intel gathered over the years. Every
네,
little
안녕하세요.
detail about the city and the surrounding areas as
어서
well.
오십시오. Waltz is no doubt trying to gather complete information about the city. Maybe about its citizens. He's looking for something and I need to know what. I need to see the archives.
That's information reserved for only the highest ranks of the Carriers Guild. However,
그러면 이제 내가 최고의 운송인이다.
you've more than proven yourself. Earned your place among our elite carriers. Come on.
Come on. 승진을 받아들인다. 뭐 승진해봤자 뭐 딱히 좋은 것도 없구만. 뭐 그래도 까라면 까야죠, 네. 그죠?
Your time has come, hotshot. Welcome to the top tier of the Carriers Guild ranks. Not bad for a pilgrim. You are officially the elite of the elite. The best of the best of the very best of the guild.
elite.
Our secrets are now your secrets. To honor this occasion, I have something for you. Congratulations, hotshot. And to think what you were when you joined. Some snotty-nosed little punk. And what you are now. A carrier.
자랑스럽지 마. 이 위치에 오르기까지 10번이나 퀘스트를 10개나 깨야 했어. 알았어?
You've earned the right to ask of the rest of us.
심지어 별 의미도 없는 노잼 퀘스트들을
You get
물론
one
가끔 나오는
favor,
이제 그
so ask away.
배달 전달해줘야 되는 이제 고객들의 이제 만담이 좀 나름 재밌긴 했지만 데렉이 다시 길드로 복귀하길 바랍니다.
I asked that Derek be reinstated as a carrier. He saved my life and even as an outcast had this guild's back. He admits to his mistakes and I believe he'll work hard to make up for them.
Well, if you say so, I'll believe you. We'll restore Derek immediately.
Thank you.
From now on, treat me like an open book. There is probably a great deal that you'd like to know. Want answers, Hotshot? Now's your chance to ask.
Aiden, heard the news? Meet me in the canteen. If I really am to thank you, I want to do it in person.
아니 금세 또 사무직을 금세 또 다시 뽑았어? 얘들 다 죽었잖아. 그래 금방 뭐 예비가 있었나 보지 뭐.
Ask away.
Mia.
I'm looking for a girl named Mia. She'd be about my age now. A little younger. Do you know anything about her?
No, I'm afraid not. Anything else you can tell me about her?
Yeah, she was one of Walter's experimental subjects. No, one of his victims. 15 years ago.
There were more girls. The carriers know of one of them. It was hard to keep that one out of trouble.
Sounds like it could be her.
Maybe. But I wouldn't get your hopes up.
라원이.
She goes by the name of Lawan. She hangs out with Frank, as far as I know.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
야 기껏 고생해서 그거 했구만. 다 아는 거잖아. 아는 내용이잖아. X13.
Can you tell me anything about X13?
X13? Interesting. Not quite, but listen to this. Back in the day, the military coded strategic locations around the city with an X and a number. This included sites like water towers, power stations. The higher the number, the more strategically important the location. But I've never heard of any location with a higher designation than X9.
So, what's strategically important about X13?
Have no idea. But I'll tell you, it's not a place for guys like you and me, lad.
I wonder what it means then.
Jack Matt.
Can you tell me any more about Major Matt?
Before the revolution, Jack Matt was an undistinguished military major. He made his name by refusing William's order to shoot civilians. He managed to get most rank-and-file soldiers to join him and side him with the people and help in their revolution succeed. He's considered by many as not just a hero, but the city's savior. That was then. Now, I hear, he's more and more after personal gain and to help the citizens.
That sounds like he's on a power trip. It's too bad.
후안 레이너.
So, what about this Raynor character?
Character's right. He's responsible for bringing together all the trade unions necessary to get the wall built. This had him mixing with nearly everyone in the city, both the big wigs
그런 거 치고 나한테
and
겁나
everyday
기새끼처럼 구르던데.
people.
그래서 이게 그 잭매 편을 들을 수밖에 없었는데.
Which made him an unlikely revolutionary leader, but he became one nonetheless. He was ground zero for the rebellion. Although his true motivations have never quite been clear. He came out on top in any case, and manages the supply chain for the peacekeepers. He's up there with Matt in influence. He's got exquisite taste, and in the course of his duties, manages to obtain all manner of rare artifacts his people come across. Well, he's become quite the collector.
네, 안녕하세요.
Sounds like a colorful individual.
나이트 러너.
So, what's the real story on the Night Runners? Who were they?
Heroes to most. Started out pretty simple, a group of soldiers who became infected during a mission. Now usually, infection spelled the end of a military career. Too much risk, especially with so many night operations. However, around this time, the military created something called inhibitors. Not only did they prolong the time you could spend in the dark, but also greatly enhanced motor skills and other senses. The downside was the side effects of inhibitors. It kicked the crap out of most people, if they didn't outright kill you. Given a choice, most soldiers took the risk to remain in active duty, and to continue to make a difference in the battle. That's why people consider them heroes. Not just because they did so much to help so many, but because they joined the revolution on the people's behalf. They were the real deal, Aiden.
That's quite a story.
윌리엄스 대령.
So who's this Colonel Williams?
Oh yes, Colonel Chris Williams, aka the Butcher.
Ooh, how do you earn that nickname?
If you hadn't just asked me, I'd say you don't want to know. But since you asked, Williams was the right-hand man of General Pratt, the nominal head of security for the city. I say nominal because it was an open secret that Williams was Pratt's puppet master. Pratt was a nepotism promotion and of no practical military use. Growing bold, Williams ordered a chemical strike on the city, while Pratt was stuck at the bottom of a whiskey bottle, unable to cope with the conflict, the responsibility of military command, and really, well, anything not whiskey related. What happened next is common knowledge. Williams' attack triggered the revolution. With Pratt having abdicated all authority, Williams ordered the military to shoot civilians. Most of the soldiers refused his order, and the end of armed conflict came swiftly. But not before the colonel and many of his supporters made the dam his personal stronghold. Shortly after that, lucky for him, he took in Waltz.
Wow, the Butcher indeed. Thanks for the information.
혁명. 아 왜 자꾸 뭐가 나와? 아니 아카이브에 그거 할 수 있다는 이게 뭔가 이제 나중에 선택지에 도움이 될 것 같아가지고 물어보고 있는데 그냥 진짜 그 스피드웨건 투머치 토커잖아. 혹시 드리스콜님 혹시 예전에 혹시 이제 뭐였지 여기 지역 이름이 뭐더라? 혹시 바자 특급이라고 불리시지 않으셨습니까? 혹시 야구하셨어?
Most areas had not been evacuated. Crowds of survivors remained, huddled on roofs, sheltering in place. Citizens, but also undocumented refugees from all over Europe.
Revolution.
There was no way to know who was healthy and who was infected. There was a massacre, and half the city's population was wiped out.
Oh my God.
It was a tragedy beyond comprehension. Was Williams that bloodthirsty and cruel? Was the military that disorganized that it didn't know its own evacuation plans? In the end, it doesn't really matter. Death and chaos enveloped the city, and those who survived had had enough. And so, as people have done throughout the ages, they rose up in revolution.
I hardly know what to say. This has been quite an education. Thanks, Professor.
군이고 뭐고 정부 자체가 이제 거의 무정부 상태인데요. 뭐. 이제 거의 이제 지역 자경단으로 돌아가는 수준이라서. 알았다. 그래서 우리 데렉이 다시 우린 나 좀 만나자 그랬는데. 그래. 아니요, 이제 전 세계로 퍼졌다는 설정이에요. 아까 저번에 이제 그 퀘스트 중에 이제 보면 이제 거의 이제 영국 같은 경우는 이제 한 거의 이제 좀 거의 80%가 마비됐다 그랬던 것 같은데 거의 이제 뭐 도시 중에서 재기능하는 게 몇 개 안 된다고 그런 식으로 얘기가 나왔었죠. 어이 내레기.
Thanks, Aiden. You don't know what being back in the guild means to me.
Don't thank me. You proved yourself.
Maybe, but you made it happen. Here, take this.
What's that?
A little toy I whipped up for myself. I want you to have it.
정말 장난감인데.
I call it Deliverance. and it's yours.
Holy
Deliverance.
shit. Look at this. Thanks, man.
Use it in good health, or I'll find your corpse and steal it back, Aiden.
Roger that. You take care, Derek.
오케이. 야이씨. 야이씨. 그래놓고 주는 게 씨야. 3레벨짜리 야. 아니 세상에. 너무한 거 아니냐? 아까 그 습격해 왔던 애들이 그 운송인 길드 습격해 왔던 애들 레벨이 5였는데 3레벨짜리를 줘. 걔 양아치 너무 생양아치 아니냐 인간적으로? 미쳤다. 자 어쨌든 뭐 그건 그거고. 어쨌든 길고 길었던 이제 운송인 길드 퀘스트도 이제 엔간하면 이걸로 마무리가 된 것 같고. 자 이제 이거 하우스필드 스포츠존. 아 바바도 독서 클럽도 해야 되는데. 아으. 아 제작은 안 돼요. 있는 거 이제 업그레이드 정도. 뭐 설계도를 줬으면 좋겠는데 그런 장비 설계도는 안 주. 그러니까 장비 자체의 설계도는 주지 않더라고요. 자 이제 뭐 사망한 군인들의 이제 군번줄 찾아서 애도를 표해주는 퀘스트.
I'm close to the gym, Kyra. Any idea where to find Bartis's body?
Bartes is bound to have fallen near a swarm of slain enemies. Anyway, listen for yourself.
Don't you find it strange that a group of Bazarians wants to hand us over an injured PK in a place like this?
Take it easy, Auntie.
Chris, behind you!
Chris, behind you!
Do I have to tell you? Don't call me Auntie! Private First Class Bartes isn't pressing enough!
Sure thing, Auntie.
Chris, watch out! There's too many of them! Let go of Chris! Oh. Say hello to Jack and Joe!
What happened? Took down 7 Chiefs, but it wasn't... She's dead, Chris. More Duke's coming our way, we gotta withdraw. I'm staying put, Bishbowski. Chris, Marcus didn't save your ass so that you can get yourself killed. Let's go! Come on.
Let's go. Renegade, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Go, go, go. You got go. 맞다, 나 군번줄 찾아야 돼 이것들아. 친구 아니니? 더 위쪽이야? 너냐? 아니에요. 뭐야? 아, 지뢰구나.
I'd have a problem with that many myself. Respect.
자, 이 근본줄을 사이라. 한테 가져가면 죽어요. 그렇대요. 잠깐 온 김에 여기 세인트 요셉 병원에 있는 요거 좀 합시다. 근처에 군용 투하물. 여기 저게 그거였죠. 예전에 하려다가 그 당시에는 이제 레벨이 안 돼가지고 못했던, 야심차게 해보려고 했으나 당시의 나에게는 택도 없는 일이었던. 올라가자. 아주 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 아주. 네, 안녕하세요. 갈고리는 신이야. 아, 또 그지같이 빡세게 만들어놨네 또. 그래 뭐 어쩌겠니. 그지같이 빡센 대로 가야지. 는 이쪽이었어. 올라가잉. 어디가야! 아웃! 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 될 때까지 해야지 뭐. 판정이 좀 더럽긴 해요. 아우. 자, 때려. 판정이 야속하더라. 아유. 아유, 군용 투하물 이것도. GRE 액세스 키. 그러니까 여기 변전소가 없네 따로. 이 지역은 물 안 먹어요? 눈 안 먹었네. 큰일 날 뻔. 잘못했으면 울었겠다 나. 열은 상자 다시 보자. 짜낫게나. 아무튼 조심. 뭐가 됐든 조심하고 보란 말이야. 자, 아무튼 뭐 여기도 그럼 일단 할 건 다 한 것 같고, 뭔가 더 엄청나게 특별한 게 남아있지 않는 이상. 뜬뜬. 이게 뭐지? 네, 안녕하세요. 신처가 여기 하나 더 있었구나. 딴딴딴딴딴. 딴딴. 자, 그럼 일단 더 없지? 더 없지? 없는 거지? 그럴 거라고 믿을게. 일단 이 지역에서 하는 건 이제 좀 더 스토리를 진행하고 합시다. 아직 안 열린 지역들이라. 안 열렸다기보단 이제 또 막상 또 이것저것 또 빡센, 아직은 좀 빡센? 아직은 아닌데 아무튼 좀 빡센 곳들이니까 이거 보고하고 메인 스토리 갑시다. 우리 잭맷 개 양아치, 우리 생양아치. 이제 슬슬 이제 그 뭐였지, 기껏 내가 도와줬더니 슬슬 양아치, 나한테 양아치 짓거리 하려고 하는 우리 잭맷 만나봅시다. 아 큰일이야. 편집이 또 밀려가지고
My goods.
최대한 열심히 편집을 하고 있는데 느려. 우와. 딴딴딴딴. 프로스트.
To die for.
이것도 원래 카이라라 그러는데 사이라라 긁고 시라라 긁고 전형적인 이제 번역 오류죠. 직접 더빙이랑 안 들어보면 이제 헷갈릴 수 있는 발음이니까.
Hey, Kyra.
카이라인데 시라라 그러네. 잠깐 나 이거 그거 했는데 이거 이미 보고했던 것 같은데. 자, 바르테지의 군번줄을 찾았어.
Here it is. Bartez's dog tag.
Thank you on behalf of her husband. You deserve something. Do you have the other dog tags?
I found the dog tags of Sierra, Little Ron,
뭐지 이거 나 보고 했었는데. 뭐지?
Thank you, Pilgrim. This is for you.
무한으로 보고 가능한 거야?
Do you have the other dog tags?
바르테지는 크리스를 구했어.
Bartez saved Chris's life without hesitating.
Yes. Chris owed her extra time in this world. Bartez was one of many women in our ranks, but one of the few that could kill a dozen infected all by herself.
Did Sierra and Little Ron know there were screamers in this lab?
Sierra certainly assumed that possibility. He wasn't stupid. I remember how we laughed at Sierra. We used to call him Brains. He kept getting job offers from the top. But he never cared for climbing the ladder. He preferred to stick close to his brother, Brasco. As for little Ron, he joined the PK after having lost his son. Who knows? Maybe he went back for Kitty because he reminded him of his boy.
나중에 돌아올게.
I'm still looking.
The PK's got your back, Pilgrim.
Rainer's men got a huge order for lamps from Matt.
자, 그리고
Hey, you seen the quartermaster anywhere?
To me.
잭맷 선 넘지 마.
Hey, you're here. I'm glad. Okay, that's it for now.
So, you're still here, Gadjo.
Thank you, my friend, for everything. How will I ever repay you?
아니 빚을 갚을 수 있다면 이거 데니와 일하는 겁니까? 박사가 어딘지 알려달라고 여동생 찾아야 된다고.
We trade with whoever's got what we need at the right
왜
price.
자꾸 선 넘는 거니?
Nomads, they're an odd bunch, isolated by choice, but they have the best scouts out there. You need something hard to get, you can get it from them, guaranteed.
자, 박사가 어디에 있는지 알려주시면 될 것 같습니다만.
You can finally tell me how to find that doctor like we agreed.
Of course, of course. Bring Cadet Gunter in here. Aiden, we've also located a renegade officer's squad. If we hit them, we'll have the upper hand. I've already gathered a team, which includes Lawan. You want in on the action?
Let's talk about that doctor first.
As you wish. Gunter, This is Aiden. You are here because of his efforts.
We've met before.
Yes, we have.
Sir, I have met him, sir. Tell him what you know about that GRE doctor.
The doctor is still working at the bazaar.
Bazaar? Really? What's his name?
Ryan. Veronica Ryan.
Wow, her? What a trip.
베로니카
That's so
라이언?
funny.
She's one of the first people I met after entering the city.
You know old Villador quite well, don't you?
좀 아이러니하다. 하콘하고 같이 있던 그 여자 말하는 건가? 지금 바자에서는 무슨 일을 하고 있어?
What's going on there now?
Since Ater left, the PKs were driven out. Many of your men died there, sir.
There have been rumors that the renegades took control of the whole region.
And everyone literally hates your guts for what you did, sir.
잘 알지.
Okay, so where exactly do I find the doctor?
Somewhere in the vicinity of the church.
Good. Finally.
Okay, Cadet Gunter, that's all. Now go back to your training.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good luck, Aiden. Damn it!
Hey, are you okay?
Just leave for fuck's sake.
몸이 많이 마스크 써. 네, 안녕하세요. 베로니카. 자, 이제 베로니카 라이언을 찾는다. 그래, 알았다. 나에게는 빠른 이동이 있으니까. 그런 것이니까. 자, 이제 바자로 가야겠네. 가자. 빠른 이동이요? 생긴 지 한참 됐는데 그냥 지하철끼리만 왔다 갔다 할 수 있어요. 지하철 포인트만. 좀 아쉽긴 한데. 잠시 기다려 주십시오. 자꾸 나오지 말라고 잠시 기다리고 싶지 않으니까. 아, 설마 그 우리 떨어진 게시치 아직도 있는 거 아니지? 며칠이 지났는데. 다 같이 돌자 동네 한 바퀴. 문 열어. 아니, 이럴 수가. 허공을 허공에 떠 있는 라디오라니. 이것이 포스트 아포칼립스의 기술력이란 말인가. 좀비 사태로 인해 발생한 기술이 인간의 기술의 절정. 뭐야? 왜 이 내부에 좀비들이 돌아다녀? 잠겼어. 이쪽으로 올라가야 돼. 아니, 문이 잠겼잖아. 문 열렸어. 뭐야? 잠긴 줄 알았지만 열려있고 열린 줄 알았지만 잠겨있다. 결국 모든 것은 마음에서 나온다. 그런 것인가? 여기도 내부가 좀 많이 변했다. 왜 이렇게 휑해?
Sophie?
Sophie?
Who did this?
You. You. And the peacekeepers.
야,
Your friends.
근데 너무 이제 그지 같았어.
They
너
attacked the
솔직히 네 동생.
Most of us died trying to protect it. I told you.
그게 왜 내 탓이야? 니들
Told
탓이지.
you they were murderers.
니들이 좀만 이제
All
수도문에서도
their
이런
empty
일은 일어나지 않았을
claims
거야.
of wanting peace. And look. Look what they've done to the bazaar. My home. Does this look like peace, Aiden? So many years of work,
So many years of fighting. Why did you even come here?
I'm looking for Dr. Veronica Ryan.
Well, then you're a lucky son of a bitch. She survived.
Where is she now?
Why would I tell you?
Sophie, I didn't start this war.
그래, 경고하려고 했는데 이 망할 네
You
동생이.
know what? Okay. That bitch Ryan used to help the PK. Said they're people just like us, and they're not. Whatever you want from her, will probably get her killed.
야, 솔직히 처음 여기 왔을 때 다짜고짜 날 매달려고 했고, 네 동생은 나한테 개 쓰레기같이 돼, 날 쓰레기같이 돼 있고. 근데 어쩌란 말이냐?
Last I heard, she was hiding in a building north of
한
Korea.
명 단 한 명도 너 빼곤 단 한 명도 이제 나한테 인성질을 안 한 인간이
Get out of
없는데.
my sight. You miserable wretch. I'm sorry, Mother. So much work. So
모든
much.
것은 인성이 빠진 제 가루가 되어 있던 너희들의 문제가 없다고 할 수 있니? 정말 너희들은 깨끗해? 고결해? 아니잖아. 자, 어쨌든 간에 여기 한번 물음표 이거 하나 남았으니까 이거 찍고 가자. 맞아요. 이제 잘 됐으면 또 잘 된 대로 나 버릴 애들이야. 여기 애들 진짜. 레니게이드! 레니게이드! 게이드! 레니게이야, 게이야.
Understand? I'll make you talk. Just a matter of time.
레니 게이야, 게이야, 게이야. 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 박사를 위한 도박수. 자, 구 빌레도르를 장악 및 사수해라. 알 박사를 찾아 포획한 뒤 증언을 기다려라. 불안정을 초래하라. 과자에게 더 혼란이 올수록 좋다. W면 왓츠인가?
Aiden.
빈센조.
First, the renegades, and now you.
Hey, relax. I'm not gonna
박사
hurt
어디
you.
있어?
My friend. Where's Veronica?
Why do you want to know?
Because I need her help. And it seems she may need mine as well. Is she okay?
She managed to escape.
I need to find her. Do you know where she is now?
No, but we can try to contact her. Veronica? Veronica? Are you safe? Veronica? Shit. Something's not right.
Yes, I'm safe. Are you?
Oh, I am now. There is someone who needs to speak to you.
Dr. Ryan? I'm Aiden. I know that you're being hunted by the renegades.
Hurry, Aiden. More renegades may be here any minute.
Jack Matt, he told me you work for the GRE. I need access to the GRE database in the observatory. I have a GRE key.
A GRE access key?
That's what I've been told. You think you can...
Let's meet. I'll be in a small building near the dam, not far from the observatory.
수전증이나 보죠 뭐.
Hello?
Be careful, Aiden. The place is soaked in chemicals.
I will. Thanks for the heads up, Vincenzo.
Well, it seems that despite everything, you saved my life. Farewell, Aiden.
Farewell.
자, 이제 댐 근처에서 베로니카를 만납니다. 아유, 겁나 멀잖아. 에이, 하지만 나한텐 빠른 이동이 있다. 그렇다. 잠깐, 댐 근처면 여기가 거기면 여기가 거기가 여기면 여기가 거기면 여기고, 하나면 하나지 둘이겠느냐. 여길 또 가라고? 선생님, 저 여기로 들어온 게 맞는 것 같은데 왜 못 나가나요? 나가게 해주세요. 저기요? 나 이쪽으로 들어온 거 아니었니? 딴 데서 왔니? 제발 나가게 해주세요. 그렇구나. 알겠어. 아, 원래 판자가 없었단 말이야.
Aiden, it's not like you haven't done enough. We're deeply in your debt. I'm just worried Lawan might fall short of accomplishing her mission. Our nomad friends tracked down the location of one of the Renegade's top commanders. He's in a building at the west end of the garrison, right by Mount Lucid Bridge.
So that's what Daniel was helping you with.
Correct. Eliminating him before attacking the colonel is critical and time sensitive.
좋아. 라완하고 맷을 도와야지.
Part of your plan to attack the colonel?
어쩔 수 없어.
Yes. I'm going to give the
내 동생은 나중에 천천히 찾으면 돼.
And this city, it deserves peace, Aiden. I'm sure you agree. The question is whether you'd be willing to help get there.
I'll see if I can help, but I really have to get things started with Dr. Ryan.
Understood. Good luck, Aiden.
자비는 없다. 자, 레니게이드 전초기지에서 도살자의 장교를 찾는다. 여기가 전초기지였어? 그래. 전초기지일 수도 있지 뭐. 그럴 수도 있고 아닐 수도 있습니다. 어두워진다. 점점 어두워지나 봐. 자고 또 자고 또 잘 거야. 아침까지. 그래 7시부터 자가지고 하루에 12시간은 자줘야 이제 이렇게 나도 그렇게 자고 싶다. 하루에 12시간은 자줘야 이제 이 정도 피지컬 유지할 수 있는 거죠. 잠이 무약이에요. 잠을 충분히 주무세요. 물론 쉽지 않다는 건 압니다. 뭐야? 왜 이렇게 다 죽어 있어? 아니 이런 거 말고 석궁 화살 주면 안 되냐? 그냥 일반 화살은 썩어 넘친다 나도. 라원이
Good to see you back in business. Are you sure you're all right?
I told you to hurry.
Well, maybe if you'd given me the heads up instead of ghosting me, we...
Oh, stop whining. We've done enough talking for a week. Can we just focus on the job at hand? You see?
그러니까 라원이 너 석궁 쓰면서 왜 일반 화살이야?
Looks like they were evacuating the camp.
Evacuating?
Yeah. I don't know why. That's exactly what one of those scums told me before he died.
Somebody's still here.
누구야? 응?
Demelin? What are you doing here?
Please, don't hurt me. I'm not a renegade.
What are you doing here?
I was here to talk. Trying to negotiate.
With the butcher's people?
Yes, well, you see...
For whom? Juan sent you?
Yes. He wants peace. He believes that Jack Matt is a bigger threat than the Colonel. You must see this as well.
I'll make my own judgments.
Just try to look beyond the surface.
That only works as long as the surface is clear.
Does that mean you'll hand me over? Are you going to tell Matt about me?
아니.
You did nothing wrong. Just trying to follow orders. Just go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Luan, the camp is empty.
Time for the next bastard.
Wait, how many people did Jack tell you to liquidate?
Jack didn't tell me to do anything. I did what I had to do. The target was spotted near the church south of St. Paul Island. It's one of the butcher's key officers. You're always so keen to help me. Why not hit him
아유
together?
물론이지.
What, you think I'm not up for it?
Shut up. You can join me, or I'll do it myself. Over and out.
자, 매세 계획이 핵심인 장교를 찾는다.
62개월임을 알리는 인사.
골벅스님 62개월 구독 고마워요. 까마리앗. 또 저쪽 역사상 가장 깊은 곳으로 들어가게 되겠는데 그럼. 그래 뭐 그럴 수 있지 뭐. 그래. 그래도 희망 정도는 갖고 살 수 있잖아. 아니요, 맥북 말고 맥미니요. 맥프로는. 맥북은 이제 쓸 일이 없어가지고 아무리 짱구를 굴려도 쓸 일이 없더라. 어쨌든 이제 영상 편집에서 맥이 최고 존업. 물론 이제 사실 뭐 하드하게 하면 뭐 에디우스나 뭐 이런 프로그램도 있고 막 그런데 어쨌든 이제 아 여기 저번에 퀘스트로 왔던 곳이다. 퀘스트로 왔었는데 못했던 잠겨 있어서 바로 그곳이구만. 그러니까 작업용이니까 산다고요. 누가 맥값 게임한대. 나 이걸로 어쨌든 영상 편집해서 돈 벌어먹고 사는데 필요하니까 쓰는 거지, 사는 거지. 필요하면 사는 거지. 아 이게 이걸로 가는 거였구나. 어쩐지 콩샷을 얻고 왔어야 되는 곳이었어. 맥북이 디스플레이가 좋긴 하죠 꽤. 근데 뭐 그것 때문만은 아니죠. 그것 때문만으로 사진 않지 사실. 솔직히 이제 작업용으로 나온 이제 맥북 중에 아니 그 노트북 중에 맥만한 성능 거 이제 그 가성비가 있는 데가 없어요. 작업용으로 쓸 거는. 그리고 이제 어쨌든 간에 사진 작업 하시는 분들은 맥 디스플레이가 나름 표준이기도 하고 최고의 디스플레이라고는 하긴 그런데 어찌됐든 대체제가 없으니까. 아유 꼴받아 이놈이 안 되네. 그러니까 이게 게임인데도 나도 몸이 저린다니까요. 짱나 진짜 하고 있습니다. 은근히 이제 조작도 이제 편하지가 않은 편이야. 아이고 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 승기야. 아이고 승기야. 아이고 승기야. 아이고 빡 돈다. 레알 빡 돈다. 하지만 난 올라왔다. 이것이 나다. 아 이건 오히려 난이도에 비해서 쉽게 올라왔네. 그래 그나마 아 여기 온 김에 그 지하철도 해버릴까? 아씨. 우후! 노멀이에요? 네. 그리고 튕겼다. 너 100%구만 이거. 심지어 나 리뷰도 만들어야 되는데 또. 아마 이제 뉴게임 플러스는 나중에 그걸로 업데이트로 추가해 줄 거예요. 2회차라든가 회차 그거라든가. 왜냐면 일도 그랬거든. 나중에 이제 좀 지나가갖고 세일할 때 사실 사셔서 해보세요. 한 1년 정도 후에 훨씬 쾌적하고 재밌을 거니까. 죽어. 내가 우울할 때면 내가 나의 석공이 되리라. 석공이 왜 이렇게 세요? 일반적으로 쉽게 얻을 수 없는 무기니까 세죠. 네. 이것도 맞는 건 아니에요, 근데. 여러 명이 난전인 상황에서 이제 무작정 연사가 팍팍 되는 게 아니라서. 대체에 빡치는 거. 석공 화살을 박았는데 왜 회수를 일반 활 화살이냔 말이야. 이게 제일 이해가 안 가. 이게 말이 돼? 아니 석공 활 화살을 박았으면 석공 화살을 회수해야지. 인간적으로. 물론 이제 너무 사기니까 이 정도 페널티라도 없으면 이제 좀 거시기한 건 나도 알겠어. 인정하는데 네 그래요 많이. 애초에 한 발씩 땡겨서 써야 돼가지고 효율도 안 좋고 데미지도 그렇게 안 나오고 잘 석공만큼. 그래 이해는 할 수 있는데 그래도 꼴 받는단 말이야. 내가 석공일 때면 올라오지마 병신들아. 에이. 또 7레벨짜리 적들이라 이것도. 아, 네, 안녕하세요.